Hi, Greg and Shelly. It's Steve from Warriors Waterdeep, and I just wanted to say congratulations on 300 episodes of Dragon Talk. That is absolutely amazing. Coincidentally, this is about my 300th attempt at recording this message because it is much easier to talk to you than to talk to a screen pretending that you're on the other side. It's your gift. You have the gift of being excellent hosts. You have the gift of great storytelling, and you share that with everybody on the podcast week after week. And I was lucky enough to be on it, I think, 3 times, or 1% of the 300 in some capacities, featured Warriors Waterdeep, and my stories about punching gelatinous cubes in the mobile game, and console games, and even the tabletop role-playing game. But I really loved everything that you bring out in the conversations, because I go in with a list of things that I'd really like to say, and then after the first encounter, just like any other D&D game, the list goes out the window, and we talk about anything and everything. My favorite moment was, D&D Live, The Descent. Early Sunday morning, we've already been in so much of the event, and, late nights and early mornings, and we're talking about the launch of the mobile game, and you tried to get me to reveal the release date for the game, and I tried to resist, and I almost broke. Came very, very close. So much so that by the time my next visit to Dragon Talk rolled around, I just gave up. I just gave all the information right at the start so that we could get to the good parts of the conversation. That was a lot of fun. So congratulations again on 300 episodes. Looking forward to 300 more, and may all the critical hits go your way.
Hello, Greg, Shelly, Rob Davio. Remember me? East Coast? Congratulations. This is wonderful. 300 episodes. I'm not good at math. That sounds like a lot of episodes, so well done. I just want to thank you for including me as part of your extended family and crew. I've mentioned this many times before, but it seems appropriate to do it here. D&D is what got me started in gaming. 1981, fell in love with it. I'm broadcasting, doing this from my basement because that's where I played D&D as a kid. Convinced me and showed me that games could be something more than just rolling dice, and that's why I became that's why I became a board game designer. Congratulations, including me on this video, and including me in making some games with you, which has been a lot of fun. And here's hoping you do at least 300 more. Not today, space them out.
Hi, Greg. Hi, Shelly. It's Lauren from Codename Entertainment and Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms and D&D in general. Congratulations on 300 episodes. That's amazing. That's incredible. That's a lot of people that you've been able to talk to, a lot of awesome people. And it's always fun listening to you talk to everybody. I got a chance to be on your show a long time ago, and it was super fun. And every episode that you've had since has been amazing. And so congrats on such a long-running show, and here's to 300 more.
Hey, Greg and Shelly. Hi, it's Dr. B at Take This. And, I'm just thrilled y'all have made it 300 episodes of Dragon Talk. My goodness. I remember the very first time I was on Dragon Talk in 2016, and it was one of the first podcasts that I did in my role as a clinical director at Take This. And I was brand new to the role. It was so mind-blowing to go and walk into Wizards of the Coast I was just a fan like 4 months, 5 months earlier, and now here I was at Wizards of the Coast, despite the fact that I've driven by it so many times living in Seattle my whole life. And it was just this mind-blowing experience to get to talk to you all. And what was always so cool, and what remains cool, I love about both of you and a lot of the folks at Wizards, is that you're always so keen to talk about the ways in which Dungeons and Dragons can be used in sort of, unique and interesting ways to build community. And, in talking to me, it was always about mental health themes, or even using it to build social skills and so forth, like some of my colleagues and I have done. But Thank you so much for all that you've done in bringing more awareness of, so many ways that D&D can build community through Dragon Talk, and the community that you both built with Dragon Talk, and you and everybody behind the scenes. But thank you. Congratulations on 300 episodes, and I can't wait to see 300 more.
Hey Greg and Shelly, it's Christina Ariel, and it is my pleasure to say congratulations on 300 episodes. It's an absolute honor to be able to say what you all mean to me, which is a lot. You were the first podcast I was ever on. You always hold an especially dear place in my heart because you were also my baby's first episode on my second appearance on Dragon Talk. So knowing that you are part of great memories and knowing how much good you put into the community, how much love and kindness, it means the world. I'm so excited for you, and I cannot wait to see what you bring to the community in the future. Being able to talk about D&D, the things that we love, you introduced us to so many new creators that we might not have heard of otherwise, and that's why the show is so important and why it's so important to me. I hope that you all have a great time celebrating, and here's to 300 more episodes.
Shelly, Greg, congratulations on getting to 300 episodes of Dragon Talk. I could say for me, being on Dragon Talk was like a dream come true. I've been listening to Dragon Talk for about a year or so when I had been contemplating the use of D&D in therapy, and I just happened to catch the interview you did with Dr. B, who is now my friend and colleague and co-author of a training on the use of D&D in therapy. Your show has brought so many people together and helped inform and educate so many people. I can safely say I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing with D&D if it wasn't for Dragon Talk. So thank you. Thank you for all that you do for the community and all that you continue to do. Congratulations on making it to 300 episodes, and let's hear it for another 300.
Hey, congratulations on 300 episodes of Dragon Talk. Congratulations, Greg and Shelly and the whole team, the Dragon Talk team. You guys are so nice to me, it was a dream come true to walk around Wizards of the Coast. Dungeons and Dragons helped create a safe place to be creative and be stupid, like I often am, creative and stupid. There's something super tactile about rolling dice. I collect dice like my wife collects throw pillows. Sometimes when I wake up, they're like stuck to my face too, so that's painful. And, life is good, and it's because of Dungeons and Dragons, I want to be the light in the world because I love to play Dungeons and Dragons. So really, congratulations, and I'm so happy that Dragon Talk exists.
Look at that. What? How could that possibly be? It must be your lucky day. Greg and Shelly, congratulations! You have reached episode 300, or level 300, or something, of Dragon Talk. Welcome to my man cave, nerd cave. Congratulations! It's so exciting that you have made Dragon Talk into this super successful voice for this game, this hobby, this passion, this lifestyle, Dungeons and Dragons that so many of us, like myself included, so many of you out there, are so passionate about and means so much to all of us. And you've been such a supportive voice for people like myself, creatives, who, play D&D, teach people how to play D&D, write about D&D, do projects in the sort of vicinity of D&D. I remember the first time I was on Dragon Talk, back when I think it was just me in the studio, in the audio studio at the Wizards of the Coast headquarters. Number one, is a thrill to finally see the place where this game that I've been playing since 1979, is born or continues to live, and to see you all work and see your space. That was when I was out on the road on my book tour for my book Fantasy Freaks and Gaming Geeks, and then another time when I did my TED Talk, how D&D is good for you in real life. You had me on the show again, and it was just so great to be intersecting with both of you, Greg and Shelly, over the years. Gosh, probably more than a decade now that we go back, and just to see, to watch together, experience together how much the sort of world of Dungeons and Dragons has grown, and how it's reached more people and is entering the mainstream. And thanks so much to your efforts in making that possible and giving us all a voice for that kind of message. A better world is a world where more of us are playing D&D. At least that's my thinking. So to both of you, thanks for being an important voice in our community, and thanks for all your support, and congratulations on reaching that milestone, and may you keep rolling natural 20s. And I raise my flagon to you. Congratulations, and to another 300 episodes. Cheers.
Greg and Shelly, my birthday twin. 300 episodes. That's, oh my God, that's 300 episodes. That's a whole lot of talking, an amazing amount of guests, a lot of really, really bad puns, and also 300 episodes of the two most amazing people bringing our community to light, teaching other people about D&D and about all the creatives in it, and really bringing D&D to life, not only for those of us that are in it, but anyone who's interested in learning about it. And I can't possibly imagine two better ambassadors for our community than you two. Anytime you want me on the show, my birthday or not, doesn't matter. I'd be more than happy to be there. You two are amazing. I love tuning into you all the time and hearing about all the other books coming out, and just everything. I was about to ramble on about a ridiculous amount of things that the two of you talk about, but let's face it, you pretty much cover everything. And that's probably why this show is so important to our community. I hope more people tune in. I hope there's another 300 episodes. I am not sure about all of the puns, but keep working on them, Greg. You'll get there one day. Love you both very much. Here's to another 300.
Dragon Talk. Every day of my life feels like Dragon Talk, but you, Shelly and Greg, are the real deal. 300 episodes of the amazing Dragon Talk, talking about Dungeons and Dragons and the incredible effect that tabletop gaming has on all of our lives. I'm so incredibly proud of both of you and all the amazing things that you've done, and all the amazing growth that we've seen in Dungeons and Dragons over your 300 episodes since 5th edition launched, and the ongoing growth of our community. I got to tell you, Dragon Talk is like every day of my life. That's what it feels like, in all the best kind of ways. I cannot wait to see what comes next. I've had the incredible fortune of working on the official Dungeons and Dragons comics, Rick and Morty versus D&D, Stranger Things and Dungeons and Dragons, and the Young Adventurers guides. And every single new project that comes up related to Dragon Talk, related to D&D, has been a joy. And getting to talk to you about it, getting to tell the community about it, and share our excitement for roleplay is the best. So here's to 300 episodes. Thank you for all that you do, and may you have many, many more.
Wait, this isn't a roast? You're kidding. I gotta say nice things? Well, what the hell fun is that? Oh, hi, Shelly and Greg. It's Bob. Seriously, this is the easiest thing Wizards has ever asked me to do. They wanted me to come in here and talk about Dragon Talk and you guys in a good way, and that's really easy for me. Shelly, been a friend of mine for more than 20 years. You're part of our family. Diane and I love you like a sister. You know it. I look forward to that hug every year when I get up there at Wizards from you. Talented as a writer, and I love that I got to sit with you for your first ever book signing and mentor you a little bit, which was kind of fun. But you're talented as a designer. You're talented in marketing. You were a great publicist for me. You helped organize and take care of me when I was on book tour. But the biggest talent you bring to the table is your talent as a human being. You are, you light up the room. You're just genuinely caring, intelligent, friendly, smiling. And you're a great talk show host, obviously. And Greg, believe it or not, we've known each other for like a decade too. How'd that happen, huh? From the time when you were interviewing me in the computer games industry, to sitting on a panel together up at PAX East, to when I walked in the office that day and saw you, and you see someone not where he's supposed to be, and you go, wait a minute, that's Greg. Greg, what are you doing here? Oh, I'm going to be working here up at Wizards. And it's like, and I thought to myself for about 2 seconds that, yeah, that makes sense. Greg's going to fit in great here. And you did. And you found your niche. And, it's easy to find two hosts that have chemistry to put them on the show, because you can see that in the first time you're filming them. If they don't have it, you dump one of them or get two different ones. That's the easy part. The hard part of finding hosts that make everyone who comes on the show feel like they're part of that family too. And I've watched enough of the Dragon Talks and been on enough of them to know that, yeah, this is what you guys do. You make it so easy for someone to be there and to just know that you've got their back, that you're not there to do gotchas and get them and all of this. You've got their back. You're trying to get them to have a good time and give some information to people, but it all in the way of the family of the fandom of D&D, or whatever that writer or whoever happens to be on the show is working on. And that is very much appreciated. I've never heard a single person go on Dragon Talk come out and say, nah, I'll never do that again. And that's pretty special. So 300 shows, you guys will do as many shows as you decide you want to do, because you're always going to get people that want to be on it, and you're always going to get people that want to listen to it. And that's no small feat. So congratulations to both of you. So remember, next time I'm on your show, I got to say nice things, right? I didn't roast you. Take care. Be well. Hope to see you both very, very soon.
Greg and Shelly, congratulations! You are 300th level! That's gotta be godlike! It's gotta be. I'm convinced. Congratulations. Thank you so much for having me on your podcast. It was a real treat and a real pleasure. And from this 80s kid who remembers playing D&D, meant you were a pariah or an outcast from the popular kids, it is amazing to celebrate the rise and the popularity of this game, and now we're the popular kids. Congratulations. I can't wait for another 300. What happens when you hit 600th level? Who knows? But I'll be there to cheer you on. Congratulations, and thanks again. Bye!
Hi, Shelly and Greg. You made it to episode 300. I was so excited to be invited on the show back in 2017. It was shortly after I rediscovered Dungeons & Dragons, and we talked about my nostalgic beginnings in the 80s playing the game and how it helped form my sensibilities as a storyteller making animated films, and I've been listening to the podcast ever since. There's so much crossover between directing a film and DMing a campaign, and your show has created a space for storytellers of all genres to come together and talk about their craft. Personally, the Lore You Should Know and Character Generator segments have provided so much inspiration for me, not only at my gaming table, but also in the work that I do that makes it to the screen. D&D is such a transporting game, and Dragon Talk gives us this opportunity to be in that space of playing even when we're not together with our friends. And with the recent dark days of social distancing, you guys just continue to do the show with such enthusiasm, and it's created this opportunity for us all to escape for a little while to the Forgotten Realms, and I thank you for that. Congratulations to making it to episode 300, and thank you for all that you do.
Oh my God.
To Dragon Talk Live, everybody. Yay! Oh my goodness.
Yay, we're here. Hi, Greg.
I can't believe it.
I can't believe it either. Today is a very special day. It feels really special.
It does. Those messages were so
Oh my
sweet.
gosh.
I watched them yesterday, and there was literally tears streaming down my face.
There-
all of the love. It is so amazing.
I agree. There were several moments when I stopped and I went, oh, like you just, we like doing this. We love talking to our wonderful community, but then like we don't always hear like what it means to them as well. And it's just very, very special. And it just reinforces how special our community is. I love them all.
I know, right? It's all about what Dragon Talk
we often say is about lifting people up,
Lift you up.
lifting all of the creators and storytellers and people who just love to roll dice and hang out with their friends. That's what D&D is. And we tried to celebrate that this week with our Week of Legend Lore. Tons of announcements for Dungeons & Dragons fans out there. We're closing it out with this Dragon Talk Live, but we want to recap some of the fun stuff that we announced over the course of this week before we get to even more fun celebrations. We got a really busy hour here, so we're going to try and stick to it, which is not our style per se.
Do we like schedules? Notice
Yeah,
I didn't
we don't
say.
like to stay on that word. We never say that word.
Not a fan. Not a fan. Well, we'll see what happens.
We'll see how it goes. But yeah, we're going to be talking through all those announcements. We're going to bring on Erika Fermina to talk about bringing Ellywick Tumblestrum to life. We're going to bring on Brandy Camel to talk all about D&D something and all of the fun around that. And then, of course, we'll have Bart Carrol join us with Ryan, Marth, and Lisa Carr to talk a little bit more about the history of Dragon Talk, how it started, how it grew, and where it is now, and maybe even where it will go in the future.
Who
I don't know.
knows?
Just throwing that out.
We'll just try to piece that history together. Everybody's memory is a little bit foggy, but
live. We're doing it live.
We'll see.
And then in the middle of all that, we think right around 11:30 for those of you watching for magic card reveals. I know that's a very big deal for me out there because these Magic the Gathering cards for Adventures in the Forgotten Realms show off some really fun stuff around Dungeons and Dragons, which I've seen a bunch spoiled already, but there are two coming around 11:30. So watch out for that. And they're pretty darn cool. I think you'll be
they
excited.
are. Well done in getting those cards for us to show off.
I know. I had to ask some bigwigs. But speaking of bigwigs, Ellywick Tumblestrum had to wear a big one and talk about all of the fun stuff for Week of Legend Lore. So let's talk through those announcements just so everyone is aware. The big one for me was The Wild Beyond the Witchlight.
Yes.
What a fun storyline this is going to be.
Right. The first time we are journeying into the Feywild in 5th edition.
Yeah.
And I am very excited. I feel like this is a setting that we can all just wrap our brains around. I get this. This is exactly what I imagined doing when I first started playing D&D. It's taken like 15 or so years to get there, but I'm here and I'm ready.
Nice. And those two covers look so good. Tyler Jacobson, a friend of D&D. We actually, man, you know what? We should have him on and talk more about it. He's created so many wonderful covers for Dungeons and Dragons. And that's the standard cover that you can get everywhere on September 21st. That one on the right in this graphic. And then the one on the left from Hydro74, who, started off our whole alternate cover stuff, and this one I think is one of my favorites that he's put together, and you can get that one through game stores on September 21st as well. So you'll get a lot more information about the contents of this book and the storyline and how it kicks off at D&D Live on July 16th and 17th. Our friends at G4 TV are presenting all of that. There'll be a lot more news coming about all that programming too. But then we moved on to what we talked about on Tuesday, which was Strixhaven, a curriculum of chaos.
Oh my gosh. It just keeps getting better and better.
Exactly, right? So this is a D&D book that's coming in November 16th. There will be 2 covers for this one as well. And it dramatizes a wizarding school or a magical college that you might have seen in the Magic the Gathering set of Strixhaven that came out this spring. It's been a really, really popular set because of the amount of, I guess I could say like young adult kind of themed stuff going on in, right? Like you're battling against your peers, but also these monsters. There's a lot of great stuff in there, and we'll be giving a lot more information about what's happening in Strixhaven, a curriculum of chaos, during D&D Live as well.
Mm-hmm. And if you can't wait, if you just, I just can't wait to get a little taste of that Strixhaven D&D content, there's an Unearthed Arcana that's live right now that you can go and play test some of that delicious material.
That's
Get
right.
in there.
Mages of Strixhaven is the title of that Unearthed Arcana. It's got lots of fun stuff, a lot of new ways to think about how to make your character classes So take a look. Let us know what you think. Of course, playtest feedback is a huge part of what made D&D 5th edition a success. And so we want to keep that moving going forward. So check it out. We'll get some content ahead of time from Strixhaven and potentially even shape what ends up in that book with your feedback. So make it happen.
But that's not all.
That's not all. The hits just keep on coming.
We're only halfway through the week.
Dark Alliance had a huge reveal with a very long, awesome gameplay overview trailer. I have been following this game and getting all the updates from behind the scenes, but honestly, I didn't see this trailer until we got this asset leading up to it. And it's hilarious. It's so good. Jermaine Clement
oh my gosh.
did a fantastic job narrating this with his, signature style of sarcasm. And it really brought to life everything about what makes Dark Alliance fun, which is just getting together with your friends, bashing monsters, and maybe grabbing some loots.
Yep. And then there was
a loot, but loot.
Well, if you're Erika, then you would grab the little musical loot.
Why not both? Is what I'm saying. Exactly.
Also on Wednesday, we had the Lambert House Pride Special. The Penny Arcade C Team did a wonderful, wonderful game that was DM'd by the lovely Kate Welch and in support of our Lambert House initiative. Always a great cause and always wonderful to see how the community really steps up to support that initiative as well. There's great D&D and Magic Pride apparel available now that people could go to MTG Pro Shop/Pride and get your gear. So lovely to see that. And that was a super fun game as usual.
And all the proceeds for that, of course, does go to Lambert House, which is a fantastic charity helping LGBTQAI youth or questioning youth, any of those. And it's great here in Seattle. It just provides resources for people who may not have them. And this year is a very big year for fundraising for them. So we're pushing you to get as much of the awesome apparel as possible. I got this hoodie very recently. It's very soft on the inside, which is one of my favorites, and it's a zipper hoodie, which you don't get all the time. But there's not just hoodies. There's t-shirts. There's different styles for different
messenger
flags,
bags,
depending on how you identify. Messenger bags, right?
Yeah.
God, so much great stuff. So
good stuff.
Great way to support, and thank you so much to Penny Arcade and all of the cast members of the Lambert House Special for bringing even more visibility to this promotion. We'll be going on all June long, maybe even longer.
Maybe.
Excellent. All right. And then on Thursday, we announced new translations for Dungeons and Dragons. That's right. 4 languages: French, Italian, German, and Spanish. We like to clarify that the Spanish is from the country of Spain. It doesn't use the vernacular of Latin America, but it is a great way to get into these the books. Will be the core rule books, the Player's Handbook, the Monster Manual, and the Dungeon Master's Guide, all localized for those languages, and the Essentials Kit. And that is coming. It's coming later this year, as this graphic says, but it's September 24th, if I am remembering correctly. Exactly.
You're correct. You are absolutely correct.
So that's exciting. There's more to come for localization of Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, but we're excited to jump out with those books and bring D&D to more people in their native language. So that should be fun.
Exactly.
There was also a great promotion yesterday from Jeff Keighley and his Summer Games Fest. You might have seen a truncated version during his Summer Game Fest with Ember Moon, Hannibal Buress, Jeff Haddam, lead designer of Dark Alliance, and Jeff playing as the 4 companions of Wolfgar, Dristo Erden, Caddy Bree, and Brunor, and they had a lot of fun. The full version of that video is live on the Dark Alliance YouTube channel. Go check that out more if you want to see people interacting and bashing monsters together.
Who
And then
doesn't?
today, we've got a lot of fun stuff to announce.
We got a lot of, yes, we do. And we have some special guests also to talk to and help.
So before we get to that, do you want to just bring on Ellywick Tumblestrum herself?
This would not be the week of Legend Lore without the lovely Ellywick Tumblestrum, who helped every day cast Legend Lore to bring us that wonderful and exciting news. So yes, I think we need to bring her out.
There she is.
Yay!
Hi, Erika. So when we came up with this idea, and we're going to bring on Brandy Camel in a little bit. She was the genesis of this. But you were the first person that came to mind to embody this amazing character.
Which is like such an honor, honestly. Like, I was really flattered when you guys told me that.
Amazing.
I mean, not only do you look the part very well, but you are such an accomplished cosplayer. I've been following your stuff through Girl Scouts Glory, but also just on Instagram. You're always creating these stories with your photos, and it was great to be doing that in video form too, right?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I was really excited to create Ellywick's costume and try and bring her to life.
Well, you did, because I remember when I saw the very first video, the draft, I guess, of the first video that you did, I went, oh, it was amazing. Like how, and it's not like we gave you like a year or even 6 months or even really a month to prepare for this. You just did this. It was amazing.
I utilized Prime Delivery.
The best friend of all cosplayers.
Especially on short notice.
Yes, it was very, very impressive. And I'm a big fan of your lute playing as well.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it was really, I was excited. I got to bust out the old mandolin.
It sounds good. Those are some of my favorite parts of the videos, those little stingers that you do with like weird faces. It felt very much like what a gnome bard would do.
Absolutely. Like, what is this strange device? Oh.
Yeah, we just took a bunch of B-roll of me strumming in weird positions. It was really fun. It was really fun.
Yeah. So of course, shout out to Todd Kenrick, who directed and edited the videos. He had to level up himself and do all the amazing animations. And they looked fantastic. So great job, Todd. High fives all around for making that happen. What was it like? Because you guys shot that in different places, right? He was here in the Seattle area and you were down in LA. So how did that work?
Yeah. So originally, I was going to try to record them all on my camera to try and get like the best video quality. But we did, I think, one take. And then I got up to get some water and forgot to stop recording. And it had only been maybe like 5 minutes and my camera overheated. So I just recorded everything through OBS and sent it along to him that way. But we were on a Zoom call. So yeah, it was just kind of us playing around via Zoom and hoping everything worked.
And it did. I mean, having that background, that looked Feywild-esque, that was a challenge too, trying to get that together in time.
Yeah, we got I think 3 different backgrounds. One I thought would work really well because it was like trees and it had like lights drawn into the trees. But when that one arrived, it was like this. It was like the width of this chair. It was not
like a background for an aquarium or something.
For ants.
No.
Yeah, this is a background for ants. Yes, it did have to be at least 3 times bigger than it was. But yeah, that one did not work.
Nice.
It's funny how like the technology, how everybody in this past year has just kind of just cobbled together ways to make things happen, like playing D&D and making D&D videos.
Luckily, you had a lot of those like the wigs and the vest ready to go. Do you have some of
I
those
actually
with
had
you?
2. I do. I have. Thankfully, I had bought this like brown vest a couple years ago. I have it. I'm putting it on. I'm putting it on.
Transforming
right
before our
Partially.
eyes.
And I just got I got some bias tape. I had some boning laying around to get the collar to pop well.
It did.
But I got this on the internet. This at Joann's. I had this vest, thankfully, so I didn't have to make an entire vest from scratch. And I had tried to do the little bun with my own hair, but I didn't have the volume, I wanted more.
You're not Greg
So-
Tito after all.
No, I don't have Greg Tito's hair. Greg Tito has great volume to his hair.
Nobody has volume like Greg Tito.
I'm ready to donate the volume of my hair for more Ellywick Tumblestrum videos.
Oh, there it is.
Let's see if I can do this. Without it
Let's do it in real
leaking.
time. You guys
Real
get
time.
to see the transformation. Polymorph is being cast right now.
This is amazing.
Oh gosh, where's the front of this?
Well, as you're getting that on, I just want to point out that you did such a great job of taking those silly words that we wrote and putting them into something that made sense. You know, like I think Brandy and I were all like, I hope this works. I think it does. And you took that and you made it sing. And that's a rare thing to do with things that are marketing copy.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun. You guys wrote some fun, silly announcements. So it's fun to play with.
Yeah, I don't know what we're going to do now for our next announcement if we don't have you there with your loot announcing it, but we'll figure it out. Oh, there she is. There's Ellywick.
Ellywick is here in the flesh.
That's so cute.
That is so cute. And just so you guys, everyone knows, we chose Ellywick Tumblestrum as our spokesperson for this week because not only does she appear in The Wild Beyond the Witchlight, but she is also appearing in other fun things coming from Wizards, including Adventures in the Forgotten Realms, which we get some magic cards spoiled for that soon, and some other fun stuff coming up that I don't necessarily want to hint too much at, but it exists and you will enjoy it and you'll get it all and it'll be fun.
Lots of fun Ellywick content.
I know, right? Nonstop Ellywick content will be happening. So awesome. Thank you so much for transforming into this character. I can't believe you just did it on camera just now, putting a wig and a vest on. And I'm like, oh crap, that's her.
I don't have my ears. My ears aren't quite there.
I'm ready to believe it.
Yep. Doesn't matter. Very impressive. Thank you for being available and lending us your incredible talents for this.
Thank you so much for asking me to be part of it. I'm really honored and I had so much fun.
Sweet.
We did too.
High five to Ellywick, and we will be going to your concert in The Wild Beyond the Witchlight very soon.
Yep.
Awesome.
Look for us there. Help guide us through the Feywild.
All right, cool.
I'll
Thanks,
do my
Erika.
best. Thank you.
And we're now, I think, going to go to having some fun discussions about something that we haven't really talked about yet. So let's bring on Brandy Camel.
Okay, let's do it. Brandy.
Hey guys, how
You're
y'all
just
doing?
up here.
I know, it's like magic.
Amazing.
It's like Magic the Gathering. So yeah, Brandy, that was your idea, creating a way to talk through all of these fun announcements by casting legend lore. So first off, thank you so much for being smart.
Thank you, Brandy.
Sometimes it's just like trying to figure out whatever the through line is for all of these crazy different announcements from all different parts of the world. And honestly, I play a lot of bards, so legend lore was just something that was like front of mind for me.
Cast it all the time.
Yeah.
Well, let's cast it one more time to find out what you will be helping us announce right now.
Excellent. All right, so I'm here today to talk about D&D Celebration 2021, y'all.
Yeah!
I'm so excited about this. Last year, we held D&D Celebration for the first time, and it was a super fun event. It was very community focused. It's very driven by those of you who do awesome stuff within our community, doing live play games and panels and all sorts of cool stuff, and sticking in a few announcements at the end and things of that nature. And we're gonna do it again because everybody had a ton of fun with it. You all really enjoyed it. You sent us amazing feedback through both survey and just chatting about the event online. And honestly, it's a lot like last year, but more. We're just making it bigger. We're making
Taking
it
that
better.
feedback.
Oh yeah, taking that feedback, and we're even going to be extending some of our content into other languages. So I'm super excited about that. So there will be more information to come in the coming weeks. There will be live play. There will be more panels, things like that. A lot of what you experienced last year, but this year we are celebrating the launch of Wild Beyond the Witchlight. So that will be kind of the overarching theme, and you'll have that to look forward to.
Can't
There is
wait.
one other thing I have in store to talk about.
Very
yes.
exciting thing.
And
yes, we do.
we are announcing our inaugural Dungeon Masters Challenge. That's right. We are going to be holding an event for those of you who are expert dungeon masters to compete against one another for the title of Best Dungeon Master in the DM's Challenge. So, when does this start? It actually starts June 17th.
Get
That's
ready.
right. So here's the way that it works. We're holding this competition where the best of the best can show off their Dungeon Master skills, and there will be a series of design challenges and a series of challenges near the end where you actually show off your skills live. So super exciting. I can't share too much about the challenges because we want everybody to be on an equal playing level. So those will be revealed as the competition kicks off and as it hits its different stages. We have a skilled team of different judges across both D&D team members as well as well-known dungeon masters within the community, like B. Dave Walters and Jennifer Kretschmer.
Nice.
I know that they'll be making an appearance and helping us sort through submissions and helping judge the content that we see from you all. So here's how it will work. Competition will be held in 3 stages. You'll start with open submissions. That's what's kicking off on June 17th. You'll have 72 hours to submit your stuff, so it'll be a quick turnaround.
What kind of stuff are they submitting? Do we know that?
I can't announce that yet.
Say
so,
that.
Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise,
head
people
start.
get advanced preparation. So we want everybody on. equal playing level.
That makes sense. So on June 17th is
You
when
will
you'll
get
get
the
is when it'll be
challenge.
revealed
Prompt.
what you need to
Perfect.
submit. So I do know that it'll require submitting as a PDF so that it can source through our systems. So make sure that you have that prepared as well. There are some regional limitations. This isn't open worldwide just yet, but we did try to make it open to as many countries as possible. We have all of that outlined in our rules on the website. Head to dndcelebration.com to check out what the rules are. I believe it's up right now, so you can go check it out. And so
we have
open
our
submissions.
webmaster who's nodding, so I think that's true.
I think we're good. I think the next phase that will happen after that is we will cut down those open submissions to 10 finalists. Those 10 finalists will be announced at D&D Live, July 16th through 18th. And then from there, those finalists will compete in weekly challenges over the next few weeks, where we'll be doing slow eliminations. 1 or 2 will be dropped until we get down to our final 3. Once we get to our final 3, those 3 will face off where they will DM an encounter for an experienced panel of judges. So these will be like little mini sessions. I'm not sure if we're live streaming or recording them yet. I think that's still being determined, but you guys will definitely be able to see the results of this. So that will be very cool. And then last but not least, the winner will get announced at D&D Celebration 2021. So,
And like sweet prize pack.
Yeah.
So Shelly and you and I, we've talked about doing something like this for a long time. Like
Well-
wanting to kind of meld the fun of competition shows that we watch on TV with the fun of D&D and creating games and like how much you can create things in this way. And like, I love this concept so much.
It has been my mission for nearly 2 decades to combine, get my 2 worlds to collide, Dungeons and Dragons and reality TV. So this idea was conceived by my love of competition reality shows like Top Chef. And every time I talk to someone about it, I'm like, it's like Top Chef for Dungeon Masters. Except you will not be packing your knives and leaving, but maybe rocks,
like your
rocks fall on your
theoretical
heads. Yeah. Yeah. Pack up your dice and go. But I'm so excited to see how this unfolds. We have so many really, really talented dungeon masters in our community, and it's a great way to show off their skills and just get the community really excited and hyped up for something.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah. Your pitch for the Bachelorette DM challenge was shot down, so we went with the Top
HR
Chef
was like,
version.
no, not going to do that. So so Top Chef is great too, but I am still working on a Real Housewives D&D show. So
one day.
There's a super sweet, the one thing I really want to call out is there's a super sweet trophy attached to this for the winner.
There is.
And I can't wait for people to see this because it's awesome.
It is. The trophy is awesome, and like in the just the suite of prizes that that you'll get is also pretty incredible. A big treasure trove.
Awesome. And so you can find out everything about that at dndcelebration.com.
/welcome, I think, takes you right there to that page.
/welcome.
Yeah. Welcome.
You can get that from the Dungeons and Dragons website as well too, but that's the direct URL that can help you out. And all the rules and stuff that Brandy was just talking about are posted there for your edification, as well as getting ready to submit on June 17th. And I love that idea of you can't do anything right now. You just got to get ready.
Just got to hone
June
those
17th,
skills.
I think at 12 noon Pacific time is when that starts, right?
Yeah, submission
so
starts at 12 noon
Pacific time on June 17th.
72 hours.
That's when you'll get that prompt, and you have to get it in within 72 hours.
Don't overthink it. Just get it in. Just get it in there.
Absolutely.
So
I'm excited to see the stuff that comes in through this. I think I might be volunteering to help sort through some of the submissions.
I literally think you just volunteered yourself.
I think I did, yeah.
I think you're doing it right now.
Possibly.
I did not volunteer. Just making sure.
Notice I did not either. Let the record show. Not sure.
But this is just one of a really, one facet of a really great event of D&D Celebration too. Like I love that it's a way for us to all get together on a global scale to play D&D, to roll dice, to just learn about this game that we love, different facets of it from the culture and the community. D&D Live, we think, is our big kind of way to get people who may not be franchise fans to really enjoy and get, I might want to get that first, player's handbook or starter set or join that group that's forming around me. So that's what D&D Live is about. D&D Celebration is getting people who are, diehard fans, have been fans for a long time, and really creating the content for you. Obviously, both of those groups will get stuff out of each one of these events. But I think D&D Celebration this year, after last year's great success, is just going to grow and change. And Brandy, you're a big part of all that.
Yeah, I think it's really important that we celebrate the community that we have, as well as continue to make it welcoming and open to those who are like, hey, what's this thing? I want to check it out. So, D&D is for everybody. We say that all the time. So I think celebration is a big part of that. And I'm particularly excited about taking it to a more, extra regional, almost global level. And I'm hoping that growth can continue throughout the years.
And I really love seeing the different community members come together. And we've talked about how it's got like that summer camp vibe, but it's great to see because they're all fans of each other too. And I love to see them getting a chance to play together or sit on a panel together or just, be together virtually. But it's really cool to see that.
Yeah, super excited. So I hope you all are excited too.
The source of this trophy might have just been spoiled in chat, so I'm like, oh, maybe that is.
Oh, snap!
That could be very cool. Ooh. All right. Well, that's all of our fun stuff about D&D Celebration. Brandy, I'd love for you to stick around for a second while we bring on Bart Carrol. Bart,
are you there?
Very exciting for you to be here with. Not only are you going to talk to us about some of the fun history of Dragon Talk, but I wanted you here for when we spoil some amazing Magic the Gathering cards that are coming to Adventures in the Forgotten Realms. The release date that is July 22nd. We've already seen a whole bunch, including Drista Erden's card, the Tiamat card. There's a few others that have been out there. There's more to come in previews, but we get to talk about two. And I know there's at least one person in the chat, Alpha Stream. Teos, you're going to be very excited about this first card. I might have just given it away by saying that. But let us show our first preview card from Adventures in the Forgotten Realms, and it starts with an F. I'm giving that for Sean so he knows which ones to show. Yes, there it is.
Oh, yeah.
It is a white card, which makes total sense. Flumps, for those of you who don't know, are monsters in the Underdark, native to the Underdark below the Forgotten Realms, that are good aligned. They're one of the few monsters that can maybe help you out if you're nice to them. They float around on gas, so they also have farts, fart power. What do you think of this, Bart?
I also float around on gas, so this is great. Yeah.
True story. Who wouldn't be nice to a flump? How can you not? They're so cute.
They are so cute. They communicate, telepathically, sometimes helping in like enclaves. They feed off of, neural energy, but again, they can sometimes help. So I love the text in here. that helps everybody, right? So anytime a flump absorbs damage through Magic the Gathering combat, everybody draws a card. And I like that as a mechanic. It just feels very much in line with what flumps do in the D&D multiverse. So super fun card there. Yeah. Any other, Brandy, what do you think of the flump?
I mean, they're soft, they're squishy, they're cute, like in their special Underdark way. I actually tend to play a lot of green-white, so this is the type of card that appeals to me especially. So.
And I love someone in the chat saying fart power is good. It's true. It's good line. It's canon. That is canon. Awesome. All right. Well, we got one more Magic the Gathering card to spoil for you.
What you got? What you got?
Wait, hold on. Did you guys hear that?
Weird.
Brandy's amazing laughter for Tasha's hideous laughter. What a great card this is. For those of you who don't, just watching, I will give you some feedback around this. Tasha's Cauldron of Everything is named after Tasha. I'm actually, you know what, Brandy, you're the expert on Tasha here. So why don't you give us a little bit about this card?
Oh, I love Tasha. So Tasha is a historical character who dates back to very early Greyhawk history. She was part of the Company of Seven. She adventured kind of like incognito, and she has a very long, storied history. She is the daughter of Baba Yaga. And grew up in the Feywild, and Tasha's Hideous Laughter is one of her iconic go-to spells of just, disabling somebody in combat and taking power on the battlefield. So she is an absolute delight. She's one of my favorite lore characters in D&D, so I'm extra excited that this card made it into the set.
Absolutely. And I love that ability there, which basically means you'll be decking yourself until you get to 20 combined mana cost, which, that could be like 20 commons. It could be one or two of your big bads, that you've got in there that you'll lose with this sorcery. So super fun way to interpret, again, D&D mechanics and lore into Magic mechanics. It's working really well. And kudos to the team there for making all that happen. All right. Awesome.
Love it. So cool.
Lots to look forward to.
It's D&D magic. It really, really is.
It really is.
Yeah, it really is.
I've been looking forward to this since I found out about it working here, and I'm like, oh, it's finally happening. It's happening.
It's so cool.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, Brandy, for coming on and talking through all of the fun stuff around D&D Celebration, the DM's challenge, and of course, being able to laugh with us.
Thanks so much for having me. Yes, always.
Thank you, Brandy.
Yay, bye, Brandy. Okay, so Bart, we
Hello.
are very excited to talk to you in the downstairs area from Shelly. I think you're actually just 10 feet below her. Is that right?
Yes, he is. And I'm so excited that our internet is holding. Knock on wood.
Why would you even say that?
I mean, I don't know how many people know this about you, Bart, but you're the reason why we have a D&D podcast. That's not where you thought I was going, is it?
There's so many things you could have said.
So many.
No, I, as with many things, and I'll get to this in a bit, I was privileged to be there for the start of the D&D podcast, but admittedly, more of a facilitator than an originator, right? There have been a lot of different projects in my time at Wizards of the Coast where folks have had great ideas and we're looking for some help executing them. And the D&D podcast originally started off that way. I've been at Wizards since 2004, so it's been a while. And see, I don't even have the records. 2007, 2008, folks in R&D were interested in having a podcast and trying to figure out, well, how do we do this? We don't really have that set up in Wizards of the Coast. So can we make it happen? We don't know.
And that was actually the beginning of Acquisitions Incorporated. It wasn't even a talk show like we turned it into here, but it was just people playing. It was James Wyatt first. People don't know that either. It was James White and the guys from Penny Arcade, and then Chris Perkins took over in the second session, and that was the first Dragon Talk, really.
There were a few, there were a few starts and stops, but yes, there was. I think way back when there was an office at Wizards of the Coast that we commandeered. It's now Jeremy Jarvis's office, but it was one office that had a lock on the door, and I don't know why. And so we figured, well, we can store equipment in there and keep it locked, and then no one could barge in on us in the middle of a podcast. So that's why we chose the room and just bought a bunch of what do you call those things? The egg crate foams. And literally stuck them to the wall with push pins to try.
Yep, I remember. Now I know what you're talking about.
Yes, get some sound dampening, and it was just one microphone and a soundboard that I didn't know how to operate, and GarageBand, and doing lots of extra edits. Anytime anyone ever said or like spending laborious amounts of time trying to edit out, which was unnecessary. But yeah, it was just kind of learning as we go. So it goes way, way back.
You were like the DIY, punk making podcasts in the middle of the Wizards of the Coast office.
It was a pretty novel idea, for 2006, 2007.
But that was the thing. I mean, we've done experiments like that before, where it's like, well, we don't really do this, but let's give it a try. Chris Tulloch and other folks way back were trying to figure out like the D&D Encounters program. Hey, is this a format for organized play that we could do? Jason Thompson just pitched the cartoon walkthrough maps once as a fun thing. Like, hey, remember in Family Circus, they would do these watch around, and we've done it for every book since.
Well, then let's fast forward to 2015. Where you were talking about doing a lot of the sound and editing yourself. We ended up bringing in someone else to help out with that. You want to talk a little bit about meeting Ryan Marth for the first time?
Yeah, right. After many producers, after self-production, which didn't work super well, we had a gentleman, Joshua McNichols, come in 2014. He didn't last long, only because he moved over to NPR shortly thereafter for our local Seattle.
I can still hear him, like his produced segments on NPR. He's like, I'm Joshua McNichols. I'm like, I once knew you. He once helped us with Dragon. He went from Dragon Talk to NPR. So what does that tell
when
you?
Joshua left, we needed to find another producer. So we had another person come in named Ryan Marth. And I was checking my notes. His first podcast recording with us was back in mid-January 2015. And he's been, I believe, the engineer ever since.
Oh, right. We weren't going to let him go. No way.
Let's bring on Ryan now so you can see him in full glory in the studio.
Ryan and Lisa are with us.
Yeah.
Yay.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
About time you're in front of the camera.
The greatest mistake you ever made.
No, it's gonna air all of our dirty secrets, Greg. All that hot mic recording.
Oh no, do not. Yeah, so Ryan, what do you remember about coming in January 2015 for the first time?
Yeah, I'm curious what you thought when you got this job. You were like, did you? Because I don't think you had much of a history with D&D. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Right. So I came from a music background, and I actually worked at a news station. So Como 4 News here in Seattle, which is the ABC affiliate. I was an audio engineer, engineering broadcasts. So all the news shows. And I had this opportunity to come up, and I heard that Dungeons and Dragons needed somebody. So I went in there and interviewed with Bart. And this was, almost 6 years ago now. So I don't remember exactly all the specifics of our conversation, but I do remember he asked, do you play much Dungeons and Dragons? And I just kind of like sidestepped that question. And I said, I like clean audio, and that's kind of what I like. and Bart was like, oh, okay. And so, I just remember that first time I came in to record, we were in one of those boardrooms. I mean, in my mind, there was like 15 people in this long, loud, boomy conference room sitting around a table. There's no sound treatment and everybody's just like talking I brought in a couple pieces of equipment that were not sufficient for, I didn't know what I was, what was going on. And so, yeah, we slowly started like taking the podcast out of boardrooms and into more sound appropriate spaces. And went from there.
Slowly. It was slow. I remember being in conference rooms. I remember like when Joshua was our engineer, he brought in like an old quilt, like an old like crocheted quilt, and laid it on the conference room table to like try to muffle the sound. I remember being in one of the conference rooms that was near the women's room, and like every so often you could hear the toilet flushing in the background. Or like the doors opening and closing, or like
that was
it was.
Yeah,
I can't believe we made it.
We used to get in trouble too, because we'd be in conference rooms and we'd all be laughing, and then we'd be next to somebody who was important, and they'd be like, "You can't do this here. What are you doing? You're too close to my office."
Or they would start showing up outside the door because they had a meeting in there in the next hour, and it's like
right after, or we'd be double booked. We would just like get everything set up, and somebody would be like, "I have this room booked."
Right.
Clearly, just set up the mic. What do you want us to do?
And what was funny is the next month, a funny Bart memory, as I still was like getting to know everybody, and I came in, and I was trying to find where everybody was in which conference room, because there's so many and they all look the same, and I didn't know how to get around anywhere. But I heard Bart talking and I was like, oh, he's down here. So I walked in there, and Bart had everybody sat down at the table, and he had on the whiteboard with a magic marker. This was right after the Seahawks lost the Super Bowl, and he was marking out where everybody was on, like with X's and O's. And he's like, and so this guy's supposed to run a slant here, but then Russell throws it, and Marshawn's just sitting right here. He didn't run the football. And I thought that was pretty funny. I was like, okay, well, so Bart's upset today.
Yeah, I know. Why would you bring up such a joyous occasion?
It still hurts.
Yeah,
it does still hurt. It does still hurt. It was kindred spirits,
because I was on the other side. I was in North Carolina watching that Super Bowl after I had interviewed for Wizards of the Coast, and I had not yet heard if I had gotten the job when that Super Bowl was happening. And I am from the Northeast, but I am not a Patriots fan. So I'll just throw that out there right now. But I was watching all that occur, and I was like, oh man, I guess this is an omen. I'm not going to get the call to work at Wizards. And I didn't hear anything on Monday. On Tuesday, I got the call, and everything changed. I ended up moving in March 2015 to start working at Wizards of the Coast as a communications manager. And I came from the content creation side. So I'd made podcasts and done articles and written a whole bunch of stuff around that. And when I came, I wasn't really sure exactly what job I could do, but I heard that you guys had this podcast, and I was like, oh, this seems pretty cool. And I think even it might have been you, Shelly. You're just like, you should come join.
I'm sure.
The podcast.
It was very willy-nilly. And honestly, I don't know like why I even started being part of the podcast. I have no idea how that ended up. And like, there was a lot of churn with the other hosts, but there was always one constant, me. Like, how did I just keep hanging on? And then eventually, nope, it's not. Nope.
You're the persevering one.
Must be. But you came on as a guest, right, Greg? Like,
yes,
did we interview you?
When we did this first episode, I was just one of the people asking questions. It was me, you, and Trevor Kidd.
Yep.
And I think Bart, you might have been in that too, but I'm not sure.
Bart used to do our intros.
Always do the intros.
He used to do like these really good intros, which I was like, maybe we should bring this back.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty good.
And I loved it. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I did it for a while, but then I was moved over to Magic for a couple of years. So I was completely out of it. And then I'm sure it was like, we need somebody. Let's get the folks who are doing it and who are working well. So let's.
And I saw the promise of that, right? Having like an internal podcast where we could talk to our designers in a more informal way than other ways, and just kind of get to know them and kind of show how Wizards is a fun place to be. Plus, I just liked Shelly and everyone working on this. So it was just like, hey, we get to do this, and it was super fun. And we branded it like it was just called the official D&D podcast for many years until I was like, maybe we should call it something. What do we call it? And then we did a brainstorming meeting
that
to
was
call
you.
it something. So we came up with Dragon Talk. We still say the official Dungeons and Dragons podcast. The reason why we do that is because it was the first name of this, and it's a good descriptor. But yeah, I moved it to doing a weekly because it was kind of, there was no
it was
regular schedule.
willy-nilly. Yep.
Yeah.
We didn't and I remember those are the two things I remember. Like Greg made us more legit. He was like, we have to commit to doing this on a regular basis. It should come out on like a specific day of the week, every week, and it needs a name. Yeah.
And then we started bringing on
give us your
new
knowledge.
guests. You guys had already started doing like I really love the episode where Shelly and Bart, you talked to Dan Harmon.
I just listened to that last night.
It's so interesting because it's like, you know, right after the second D&D episode appeared on Community.
It was about to air. Yeah.
This little time capsule of that era. So you guys were already doing that stuff, but I was like, let's do more of that. Let's bring in entertainment folks. And it was right around the time that we were starting to hear that there was this, I wouldn't say secret, but there was this like group of people who were playing D&D in Hollywood, and entertainers and comedy writers and all that stuff. And I was like, let's just bring them on and ask. All we can do is ask. And luckily some people said yes, they wanted to do it. And so that started to bring more and more attention to Dungeons and Dragons. But then my job changed over the years. You know, we started producing those episodes on a weekly basis. We got to, I don't know, episode 150 or 200. And we realized that we needed more help from Ryan and producing. And so we brought on Lisa Carr to help out and do all that fun stuff.
Yay. And that's when we became really profesh. Like it got a real nice polish because of Lisa's added value there with like the lead sheets and just like reaching out to the guests and taking care of them so well and following up with them and making sure they had everything they needed prior to the interview. Like a lot of times we would ask, do you need something? And they would say, oh, Lisa already took care of it. Like we don't even know all the good stuff she does behind the scenes, but we know it's good stuff.
Well, you're not supposed to. That's what makes a good producer.
See, look at that.
So when did you start, Lisa?
Oh gosh. This I know it was like a December 2007, 18, 19.
That's really been that's amazing.
Well, yeah, so we brought on Lisa like just on a limited basis, I think in 2018.
At first, yeah.
And then Lisa started doing full-time, doing everything in 2019.
Gosh, I can't believe we're in 2021. So that means that you've been doing this for 4 years.
Yeah, roughly.
On
like
and off.
just about.
Wow.
Yeah.
Time is an illusion. I still can't believe we have 300 episodes.
I know.
We've had wonderful guests so much over the years. Again, thank you to everybody who has been on the podcast in general, but who sent in those video messages that you saw early on. We're going to show those in the VOD form. But I also want to just shout out a couple of folks who sent in a thing for us. So let's have our friend B. Dave Walters, who we've had on, I think 3 times. He was one of our first guests back in 2018, who really opened up the doors for a lot of folks. So we wanted to show his message here, if we could, Sean.
Greg and Shelly are the best. This community would not be what it is without them. Congratulations, and thank you so very much for 300 episodes of Dragon Talk. I myself have been lucky enough to be on the show a couple of times now. This is the part where I mentioned that my career would not exist as it does without Greg Tito. Thank you for everything you all have done to increase diversity, inclusion, to have different kinds of people at the table, to very publicly show that there is room for all sorts of people inside the D&D community. And no matter who you are, where you're from, what you believe, any of those things in your background, there is still room for you in the wonderful world of Dungeons and Dragons. And congrats again. And here is to 600 more episodes, which hopefully I'll get to be on too.
600 more.
We can do it. We can do it. Time flies.
Think you guys got it? We're going to go to doing 3 a week now so that we can get that going, hopefully within 7 years.
Amazing. Yes.
Oh.
I see Lauren Urban in the chat, and Lauren was definitely one of our early guests. I know she was in that conference room with the crocheted blanket. Yet she's still friends with us.
That was awesome. Yeah, I loved meeting Lauren. I think that was the first time I met her. She was here in Renton, and we brought her in, and she was a in-person guest, which we had shifted to doing not so many in-person guests by that time, and was always amazing. So thank you, Lauren, for being awesome.
One of my faves.
And I'm glad that you got to play your oboe in person last night. That was super cool to see. But yes, thank you to B Dave as well. I think he underlined something that was important for us as well, which was just make sure that the D&D community is represented as in all of its diversity, both from background to the color of skin to what you love about Dungeons and Dragons. There's room for everybody, and that was also a big kind of philosophy tenet for this podcast. In addition to lifting up those people.
Yes.
Definitely. As well
Definitely.
as singing Hall & Oates quotes.
Oh, we haven't done that in a while.
I know, right?
Yeah, there's some definite, the bings and the bongs and the Hall & Oates and the voice impressions. Dragon Talk has evolved a lot in the 300 episodes.
But in some ways, it's still all about poop.
But in some ways, it's devolved as well.
That's awesome. We also have one more really special guest that we wanted to show their video message. There was a bunch of announcements from the Critical Role side of things this week. So it was really awesome that Matthew Mercer took his time to give this awesome message. So why don't we play that for us here now?
300 episodes. That's an insanely wonderful milestone, and it couldn't have been put together by two nicer people. Greg and Shelly have been so welcoming and so wonderful to the breadth of the D&D community, and I'm so thankful that our paths have crossed. I've enjoyed every conversation we've had on the podcast, and just watching it continue to grow and bring in more people, more perspectives, more conversation, more ideas. It's been wild to watch it just continue to grow and expand, and it couldn't have been based around two nicer people. Super proud of you both, super excited to see what's to come, and just wanted to be part of the celebration and say thank you for including me and everyone in this wild ride, and sending all the love to you both. Congratulations on 300 episodes.
Oh, people are making me so tear up. It's so nice.
It's so nice. I love that.
And I want to extend all those congratulations to everybody here for making Dragon Talk happen, and for everybody listening and watching for all of these years. It's been a huge, wonderful journey for me. And as many of those messages said, gosh, I think we're on the hook for 300 more, Shelly.
Definitely. I am here for it. Let's do it. We also have a book that we're writing, so that's not coming out till 2022. So we're going to have to keep doing some episodes.
That's right. That's very exciting. We're busy writing a book about all of this history that we've just been talking about here. So we're going to be cribbing notes very much from this conversation to put into that, as well as essays about all of the interviews that we have had over the years, the ones that, had a lot of resonance, and we can't wait to share that book with you soon, and or finish writing it.
Probably start with that.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Yes. Also want to give us very special thanks to Sean Mayowski, who's behind the scenes and making this whole production work for us right now. So thank you very much, Sean.
Hey.
Good job, Sean, as well. It wouldn't be the same to not thank Pelham Green for a lot of his work. He doesn't necessarily work on Dragon Talk right now, but he was instrumental for a lot of the stuff that we were doing, especially live streaming from the studio, which was a whole other era of Dragon Talk that was super exciting. And we wanted to share that with you, on a video form. And maybe one day we'll get back to doing that in a studio once this quarantine kind of dies down.
Yeah, here's hoping.
Here's hoping. We're gonna roll some dice. Let's see if that actually makes that happen. Nope. No, I'm sorry. That's not happening.
Oh, we got a few more. It's like the
months.
groundhog seeing a shadow. No, we have a few more months of quarantine. Yeah, we can do it.
And poor Drunky is never gonna complete her quest. I don't think
she will.
She will.
By the 600th episode, we're gonna wrap up that storyline.
Yeah, for sure. Of course, extending all that thank yous to the amazing designers that we've had on. So from Chris Perkins to Jeremy Crawford, to Ari Levitch and Adam Lee and Matt Cernit back when we did Lore You Should Know with Matt. All of the fun folks, Brandy doing random character generator, Kate Welch. So many folks have contributed awesome stuff to this, and we're hoping to do even more awesome stuff in the years to come. So Brian and Lisa, I'm glad people got to see your faces.
Yep.
We'll go back to hiding for the
Yes.
next 5 years.
Looking good. And of course, Bart, thank you for, not messing up our internet here.
I know, right? Thanks for
You got
getting the
it.
kid off to school.
He is safely there.
And thanks, Brandy, for coming on and being a part of this, as well as getting to talk about D&D Celebration and also writing some of those amazing scripts for Week of Legend Lore.
Multi-talented.
Thank you all so much. It was fun from beginning to end. So
Very exciting. All right. Well, we have to go. We have to get everything ready for the Dark Alliance dev stream, which is coming up next. So stick around, find out more from that as DJ Knight will lead folks into some of the environment and character artwork of Dark Alliance. And the amazing community manager, Josh Morris, will be joining him, as well as 2 developers from Took Games who are busy getting Dark Alliance ready for you on June 22nd. Vincent and Sebastian, some great stuff coming. So stick around and watch that. And that's been Dragon Talk Live. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Yay.